to this education system affect their ability to start a business?
You know, I think this is a very, very important object lesson we're all going through, okay? And it's called living within your means. We've got a government at almost every single level, city, county, state, federal, that have lived well beyond their means for years and years and years. You know, they say, well, it's Keynesian economics. If you understand Keynesian economics, the only time you live a little bit outside your means is when you're so far in the tank that it's the only way you can get back out of the hole. Trouble is, in good times and bad times, we've spent way beyond our means. And especially in business, if you don't make a profit, you won't survive. So you have to charge a fair value for what you're doing. You have to deliver it for less than what you pay for it, so there's some money left over. And you need to leave that money in the business, not take it out and buy a bigger house, car, plane, boat, whatever with it. That's called retained earnings. It's called equity. And our government needs to learn the same thing. But I think because of that, now's an excellent time to be starting a business. But all of us have to take a little bit of responsibility, and I'm sorry to be so wordy.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race, I think. Yes.
Hi, my name is David Hood. I'm business manager for Sincerely G Graphic Design Studio. Basically, my girlfriend and I run a graphic design studio, and we're ready to move on into becoming what we call a real business. And we were just wondering, what are the practical steps? Like, do we file a fictitious business name first? Do we open a bank account? Do we register a trademark? What would you say are the next necessary steps to be recognized in the business community?
Zach, what did you do when you started your business? I mean, you know, you were just right there 7, 8 years ago. What were the first steps you took?
All of those things. Do your research, go online. There's a lot of great tools. There's mentors. There's local chambers of commerce with lots of business leaders in the local community who can guide you through that whole process if you have any questions at all. It's a lot of little things, and they're easy. And I know Steve's here. He's mentioned LegalZoom a couple times, and I love their service. It's pretty easy. So use something like that. Those are the simple steps. The bigger ideas and looking at the funding and your next steps and whether you're having an office and those type of things, those are the harder things to do. The simple stuff you'll get through pretty easily. Yeah, there's a lot of tools online.
Brian, how important is a trade? You know, the gentleman mentioned a trademark. How important is a trademark in your, you know, when you're looking at your companies?
It really depends on the kind of business you have and how important your brand is versus what you do. So I don't think I can give a general answer that, you know, it's important, but are you going to be able to enforce it? Do you have money to, you know, pay attorneys to go after people that might steal it? So.
And I think the first step is going to your city hall and asking them about a business license in your city. Fairly cheap.
Let me just add one other. There's a great organization. It's called SCORE, S-C-O-R-E, and I think it's Senior Retired Executives or something like that.
Correct. Right here in Santa Ana, California.
Yeah. Well, they've got chapters all over the country. But whatever your business is, see if you can get lined up with a person in a similar business.
And I know that, and he's absolutely right. SCORE's in Santa Ana. There's chapters all around. It's retired executives that all they want to do is help people.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Maureen, and I'm a finance major. Thank you for donating your time for this. My first question is just, it seems like you put a lot of time into your work. How do you make time for your family? In other words, how do you manage your time?
Brett, how do you manage your time, Brett?
Well, I guess recently, I poorly in terms of work-life balance.
Right.
Yeah. Most recently, I left the company and didn't do anything for a few months, but that's probably not always the best idea.
So you were retired?
Not for long.
But do you find it pretty easy to manage your, you know, balance? I guess
it can be real tough. It was especially hard for me because, like, again, I was on, you know, I had the server would send me text messages when it decided something was wrong with it. So that can be pretty invasive. I'm probably not the one to ask.
Zach, what about you? Are there any good tools in the bag that help you manage your time?
I've got another mentor who's kind of on an advisory board level with me, and he's a coach, and so he's helped me kind of get back to that. And there's the thing about running your own business too is that it's somewhat more flexible than you checking in 9 to 5. Although you're working more hours, you kind of choose when to work those hours. And so I get off at 3 o'clock every Thursday to go watch my kids play ball. They're 3 years old, but I'm going to be there, and even if I have to work when I get home, I can plug in until 2 in the morning if needed. So the nice thing about being an entrepreneur is you kind of get to call the shots. So make sure you take that time though, because I think you will, if that's important to you, burn yourself out. But honestly, if I didn't have kids and a wife yet, I'd probably be at the office 24 hours a day because I love it.
All right. Steve, how do you manage your time?
I think I do a better job of it now because I've got 45 years of screwing it up. When my kids were little, they had these things at school where you had to get up like in the 3rd and 4th grade and tell what your dad did. And one kid got up and said, well, my dad's a fireman, another one a policeman, et cetera, et cetera. My daughter got up and she said, well, my dad works at the airport. I was constantly going back and forth to the airport to take flights. So I think Zach has the best plan here. Build a pie chart or something like that and absolutely stick to it. It's like everything else that's important in life. If it's important enough, devote the time. I like your formula.
Brian, do you have any tools in your bag to help you manage time?
I'm old-fashioned. I just make lists with check marks. This is what I need to do today. But as far as work-life balance, I try to go dark at around 8 o'clock if I can. Just turn the phone off or put it out. So you usually won't catch me on my mobile after 8. So that helps draw a little line. But
how many of you guys were working at 5 a.m. this morning?
I was working at 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Okay.
And I slept between 3 and 5.
Oh, over here.
So this is going to have to be our last question because we have to move on to the winner of the Startup Business Pitch Competition. So take it away.
Sorry, but okay. My name is Yongik Lee. I'm a junior in business management major. I was so glad to see the leaders and the CEO of like you guys. My question is that, before I go into the question, thank you for the good information about entrepreneuring. But I believe that even you have a good business and good business ideas to start your business, you need a good employees, to be successful down the line. So I want to ask Mr. Mihaylo and Mr. Swire, what kind of employees you guys are looking for, and would you hire a bright student like me? But I'm international student, so I'm not sure if you guys know about hiring international students, but there's a special document that the company have to.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you look for when you hire?
Oh, for me, it's really just kind of a gut feeling. We do interviews, and most of our directors do the first rounds, and then the last few come to me, and I'm pretty easy for an interview. I mean, I just toss out a few questions and ask them about what they want out of life, and if I see that they're a positive person and really passionate about what they're doing. Our controller, who's now grown and kind of my second in command, joined the company 2 years ago, and he's a German guy who now married somebody in our company, and now he's a citizen. But he, it was kind of a gut feeling, and it was literally you're hired within that first interview because it just worked so well. But don't forget to be yourself. Don't come in so scripted. Right. Have the answers and know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. Do a little bit of research on the company and the industry too. Sometimes people come in and they're just clueless, and you're like, okay, well, you're gone. And check your resume, because they don't even make the stack. I mean, we probably get 75% of resumes have errors on them, and that's just insane.
Steve, what type of people do you guys look for?
I like Zach's answer, but I'll add a little bit more to it. It's like the guy that said wanted to be a millionaire. There he is. What's your name? Well, first of all, I'm hard of hearing, so, and I'm old, but
Jose.
We'll call him the millionaire.
But you said what's important? Intelligence is one of the things. Remember, obviously you want people that have a little bit higher than average intelligence, but I think really that attitude is the number one thing. The right attitude and people that like people are very important, very important. Attitude is I can tell you this for sure because we benchmarked against Southwest Airlines Human Resources Department. That's the that's the number one thing that they look for is people with the right attitude. So attitude comes before is more important than aptitude.
I got one final question. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, did you have a second part? You got 10 seconds.
Can I ask a quick last question?
Real quick.
Okay, real quick. What is to Mr. Flute? What would you say good business idea these days, this time?
Brian, what's a good business idea right now? Anything that makes money.
Everybody's asking that question. Of everyone. There's a lot of mobile healthcare is interesting. I'm a life science and kind of hard technology investor, so I'm not as familiar with the social media and the internet business models. But in my world, something that has a medical device that is better than anything else in that category, or something that's disruptive.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm going to end it, but what I'd really like to do is just, 5 seconds or less, some last advice you'd love to give these students on how to start a business. I'm going to start my far left. We're going to close here with Dr. Mihaylo. Brian?
Well, if you're not everyone should start a business, but if you are someone if you have an idea that you just can't get out of your head and you want to, and you're very passionate about it, like we've said, you find some people, some advisors to kind of help give you a little sanity check, and just try to do your homework and know what you're talking about, and I think we've covered it.
Right, Brett, any last minute advice?
Yeah, it might be easy to say, as a software developer whose product is generally software, but the sooner you can stop planning and actually try something out, and actually put some work towards your business, the better. So just get started as soon as possible.
Zach?
Covered a lot, but I'd just say listen to the feedback too. So as you get going, let people try it and really listen. Don't just kind of toss it out there and say, oh, we're going to fix that or we're doing something else, but hear what people are saying about it and then take that information and improve your product.
And Steve?
Pretty much what everyone else said. Find a product or service that the market needs, be passionate about it, and never give up.
Right. I'd like to say thank you to the AMA and ENT, and I'd also like to invite Jason LeManc. Would like to do some closing remarks. But please, let's just give everyone a round of applause up here on the panel.
All right. Let's please give a hand for Mr. Boris Bugarski as well for moderating this whole thing. My name is Jason LeManc. I'm Vice President and founder of Epsilon Nu Tau, a co-ed entrepreneurship fraternity. And I'd like to thank, on behalf of the American Marketing Association and Epsilon Nu Tau, this great panel of speakers that we have before us. So please give it up for the panel of speakers. And also to students, if you guys can look over to your left, Look over to your right. This is where business finds its leaders. It's you guys. You guys are the ones